Namaste and very good evening to you all. Today is a very auspicious day for all of us because here we are to celebrate the National Unity Day, and also we are discussing about the major contributions of two of the immortal souls of Mother India, the Bharat Mata, that is Maharshi Aurobindo and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. So when we recall the contributions of these two immortal souls, not only to bring freedom for this country, but also to bring freedom in human consciousness, you will see how these two immortal souls have given their life, their thoughts for this country, not only for humanity, but also for the entire world. So on 31st October, the entire world is celebrating National Unity Day. Being a special occasion, Diwali, so we thought to celebrate it today. So when we celebrate such kind of special days, it's not like that only 24 hours dedicated for a special day. It should be each and every moment of our life should be a dedication to this ultimate goal. So we are very much thankful today. We are joining our hands with the most prestigious university, Indus University from Gujarat, and the student president and the executive vice president of this prestigious institution have joined their hands. As all of you know, that the Sri Aurobindo Society was established by the mother in 1960, and the mother as our permanent president. With her dynamic blessings and the guidance, the society has been striving towards social upliftment, and we work in many sectors, including education, culture, health, sustainable development, these educations and the culture things. And also we do some collaborative activities with like-minded institutions, including universities and research institutions. And more specifically, the community outreach activities, which is immensely needed to bring a kind of social and dynamic change. So we are very much thankful our esteemed president and the executive vice president of Indus University for supporting this initiative. And I hope this is a beginning, and we will continue. We have to focus on more activities in terms of research and outreach activities. And yes, so when we talk about the national unity, it is one of the important days. And we are very much thankful today we have with us. So before we proceed to the subject, kindly allow me to introduce our today's guest of speakers of this today's gathering. We have our esteemed chairman, Sri Pradeep Narang Bhai, the chairman of Sri Aurobindo Society. Under the dynamic guidance and blessings of the mother, more than 300 branches, Sri Aurobindo Society has been striving its excellence services not only for the community development, but also to bringing a social harmony and national unity through many sectors. Pradeep Bhai will be joining soon. He has also sent his message because he's occupied with some other things, some urgent and time-bound things. Will be joining soon. And we have our esteemed president from Indus University, Dr. Nagesh Bhandari. And also we have an eminent speaker, Dr. Vedvas Jaiprakash Narayan Dwivedi ji. He is the executive vice president of Indus University. Kindly allow me to introduce our esteemed president of Indus University. Sir, I welcome you for this today's initiative and for your kind support for hosting this today's event. Dr. Nagesh Bhandari is a renowned orthopedic and spine surgeon, having spine surgery fellowship from Germany. He has rendered his honorary services as spine surgeon and Paraplegia Hospital, that is Civil Hospital, VS Hospital, and KM School of Postgraduate Medicine and Research, Ahmedabad. He has worked with world-famous surgeons like Dr. C.S. Ranabat, USA, Dr. Patel, followed Canada, Professor H.P.P. Germany, Professor J. Harms, Germany, and Professor B.G. Weber, Switzerland, and Professor M. Michan from France. He is the first surgeon involved to do laminoplasty of cerebral spine for drainage of epidural abscesses. It was the first time in Asia he used cylindrical case and instrumentation in tubercular infection of the spine for reconstruction of vertical column. It's excellent results. He's also a sportsman too. He has been a shooter and an expert in horse riding and karate. He has keen interest in aviation and in also a trained pilot. He is actively involved in various educational activities as trustees at Sanskar Dham, that is the traditional Indian school, and founder director at Ahmedabad Aviation and Aeronautics Limited, Flying Training Institute, Western Indian Institute of Aeronautics. Dr. Bhandari is managing trustee of Bhandari Charitable Trust and is currently the presidential secretariat of Indus University. We welcome you, sir, for your gracious presence and sparing your valuable time for this today's event. Also, we have an eminent speaker, Professor Dr. Ved Vyas Jaiprakash Narayan Dwivedi. Esteemed President, sir, kindly allow me to mention here, I have a strong relationship with Dr. Ved Vyas Jaiprakash Narayan Dwivedi ji, and his father was one of our members when I was with the government, Minister of Culture, Government of India. Is a renowned scholar. And I had the privilege to work with him for 5 years when I was with the central government looking at the awards. So it is a privilege to introduce Professor Dr. Ved Vyas Jaiprakash Narayan Dwivedi ji. He is the Executive Vice President from Indus University, Ahmedabad. And he was also the former Vice Chancellor and Provost and Professor in many universities, include Gokul Global University and former Vice Chancellor of CU Shah University, and also Pro Vice Chancellor and Professor at the CU Shah University, Gujarat. Professor Dwivedi has 2 doctorates, PhD in Department of Management, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel University, Vallabh Vidyanagar, and also another PhD in EC Engineering. He has been published more than 112 patents, 139 research papers, 17 books, and 17 books and 18 book chapters. And he has also completed consultancy projects more than 167 lakhs in INR and guided 14 PhDs, 4 MPhils, 3 postdoctorate, and 160 MTech students. He has participated in many national and international forums and extensively contributed for the enrichment of this academic and knowledge community through many decades. So I don't have more words to express my gratitude for such a beautiful gathering today. And maybe the gathering is less because due to this festive session is going on. But we will not focus on the quantity, the quality matters, what exactly the consciousness is. So before we proceed to this subject, which is very important, which needs to be addressed again and again, I request our esteemed president from Indus University, Sri Nagesh Bhandari ji, to kindly present his introductory views. And Professor Ved Vyas Dwivedi ji, you want to say something?
Yes, sir. Our executive president, Dr. Sandeep Chakravarti, is also online available, and he has kindly consented to join, and he will not participate. He will be there present online. He is busy somewhere. So, on behalf of Indus University and this forum, I welcome him. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Most welcome, Sandeep Chakravarti, sir. And thank you so much, Dr. Ved Vyas Dwivedi ji, for introducing the Executive President of Indus University. I welcome you, sir, for this today's initiative, and we look forward for the fruitful discussion and also our activities in the near future. So thank you so much. And once again, I also welcome all the eminent and learned scholars, those who have joined from Sri Aurobindo Society's branch and from other institutes. And with this, I request esteemed the president of Indus University to kindly present his introductory remarks and the message on this occasion, and we will start accordingly.
Namaskar ji. It's a great pleasure to be invited to speak on this important topic of national unity. We are aware that recently this National Unity Day has been declared as a National Unity Day by our beloved Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji. And I welcome Sri Pradeep Narang ji, Chairperson Sri Aurobindo Society, Vedvyaji Dwivedi, Dr. Kishore Tripathi ji, Member Secretary of the Aurobindo Society and the August Gathering. Welcome to all of you and Happy New Year. As we know that today we gather to honor the spirit of unity and resilience that lies at the heart of our beloved nation, that is Bharat. As we reflect on the journey that has brought us here, we are inspired by the monumental efforts of two our great leaders, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and Sri Aurobindo ji. Their vision, dedication, and steadfast commitment to a united India offer us timeless lessons that continue to guide us. Sardar Patel, often held as an Iron Man of India, stands as a pillar of national unity. His mission to bring together the hundreds of princely states that once fragmented our land required unwavering determination, immense patience, and unbreakable resolve. With his understanding of the diplomacy and his deep love for country, he successfully integrated these diverse territories into a single unified nation, that is Bharat. Sardar Patel saw beyond the boundaries of culture, language, and tradition. He saw India as one entirety, undivided, very powerful. His vision reminds us that the unity does not mean uniformity. Instead, it celebrates diversity, fostering strength and resilience through cooperation. Sardar Patel's struggle was not just political, it was deeply personal also. He believed that a nation bound by shared ideals of justice, tolerance, and harmony would be a stronger and more resilient. His legacy lives on in the India we see today, a tapestry woven with rich colors. Alongside him, Maharishi Aurobindo also offered a spiritual dimension to the idea of unity. He was a visionary and a philosopher. Sri Aurobindo saw India's destiny as not just a political entity, but as a spiritual beacon for the world. He also believed in the concept of Bharat Mata or Mother India, a divine force representing our collective soul and purpose. For him, India's unity was not only about bringing together lands, but also about harmonizing hearts and minds. His teachings emphasize that true unity must come from within, from a profound understanding that we all are interconnected. Sri Aurobindo envisioned India as a nation that would rise in peace and wisdom, inspiring the world to seek a higher truth. As we stand here today, we are called to uphold these ideals. India's strength lies in its unity, a unity that respects, celebrates, and upholds the diversity of its people. But this unity is not just a gift we inherit, it is a responsibility we must cherish and preserve. Each of us has a role to play in keeping our nation united, and we can do only this by showing tolerance towards others, understanding that our differences make us stronger, and by working together to solve the challenges we face as a society. In an era where we often see division and discord, let us remember that wisdom of Sardar Patel and Sri Aurobindo. Let us try to rise above petty differences, embracing a broader perspective that sees the welfare of all. Let us remember that power of unity both in spirit and in action is what brought us freedom and will continue to drive our nation forward. Let us walk in the footsteps of these visionary leaders, building an India where every voice is heard, every culture respected, and every citizen has the opportunity to thrive. In doing so, we will not only honor the legacy of Sardar Patel and Sri Aurobindo, but also lay the foundation for a future filled with peace, prosperity, and unity. But we now this political scenario has changed very much in our country.
Yes.
But after 75 years of freedom, we see that things have changed drastically very much. And for that, we realize that unity of the country is very important to take it to the further heights and prosperity. And now in this context, I very much respect the statement of Shri Yogi Ji, Chief Minister of India, that if we remain together, then we cannot be destroyed by any force. जो उन्होंने बोला है ना कि कटेंगे तो कटेंगे, so we have to keep this thing in very much in our mind. We have to remain united. With these words, I pay my thanks and Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Esteemed President of Indus University, Sri Nagesh Bhandari, for your thoughtful message, especially the contribution of the two immortal souls and how their teachings can be applied to not only to make a prosperous and India, but also for the better ideas for the humanity. Thank you so much for your insights, and it will definitely help us to work further in this direction. And before we proceed to listen from Dr. Vedvas Dwivediji, I would like to share the message of our esteemed chairman, Sri Pradeep Narang bhai. He is occupied in some other things and he has sent his message. I would like to read. Yes. I am happy that the symposium has been organized on contribution of Sri Aurobindo and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in the unity and integrity of India. We all know that Sri Aurobindo has written and spoken extensively on this subject in his book Ideal of Human Unity and Human Cycle. Sardar Patel also has spoken empathetically that large numbers will have no value unless there is unity as a binding factor. Sri Aurobindo called Patel a strong man by any description, by any standard. Indeed, there is a commonality between Sri Aurobindo and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel on this issue. Our esteemed chairman, Shri Pradeep bhai, has also said that the symposium has been society support, and I wish all success and appreciate the gracious participation of Dr. Nagesh Bhandari and Dr. Vedvas Jayaprakash Narayan Dwivedi for this. So I'm also pay our sincere thanks to our esteemed chairman. He'll be joining soon. I hope so. With this, we'd like to start this today's discussion to listen from the eminent speaker, Dr. Vedvas Dwivediji, and I'll be sharing a little information on this. You see, when we talk about the unity and integrity of India, there are two ideas. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel says, unity in diversity is the strength of India. In another way, Maharishi Aurobindo says a new spirit of oneness will take hold of the human race. So these two, you see how these two ideas, what are the similarities, not only addressing the communal harmony, not only addressing the national integration, but also in a collective consciousness way. And when we talk about unity and integrity, it's not the factor which we study in the contemporary scenario. You refer to the Vedas, the first literature of the humanity, the Sangatana Shuktam. The Rishi says that unity, they speaks about Samano Mantra Samiti Samani. That means our mind should be united. Our Samanam, that Samiti, there's the goals should be united. Many things. So the Vedic seers have studied meticulously the concept of unity, and there are thousands of literary scriptures. But unfortunately, due to the advent of many of the foreign invaders, this tradition was broken. Our country was suffered for thousands and thousands of years under the rules of some hostile forces, we can say. They created a lot of disasters, not only here, but also other parts of the world. That's why this country suffered. Our intellectual traditions were suffered, thousands and thousands of people were killed. But what is the outcome of all these stupendous activities? So unity is the essential factor which needs to be established. These two immortal souls not only fought for to establish unity, but also they sacrificed their life, their energy, their skills, everything to not only to bring freedom, but also to create unity among the consciousness, unity among the communities, unity among the peoples, and unity among the traditions. So when we talk about this Indian ethos, especially a country which is rich in diversity of cultural expressions, and most probably it is one of the most populated country nowadays, but it has given to the world the message of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That is the greatest message. And based on this Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, India hosted this G20 summit, and the motto was Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, like that. The rishis, they were basically the lovers of peace and unity. And this is the message of Bharat, goddess, Bharat Mata, which is given to the world. So before I add something about Sri Aurobindo's contributions, would like to listen to our esteemed professor from Indus University, Professor Vedvyas Dwivediji. I'll add something about Sri Aurobindo's contribution, but first I would like to listen to the esteemed speaker. We welcome Dr. Vedvyas Dwivediji on this to share his insights
Dhanyavad.
on this subject.
Dhanyavad. And namaste to everyone, all the esteemed guests, professors, and noble-hearted people present online through this digital media Zoom meeting. Am I audible, Tripathi ji?
Yes.
Thank you so much. On behalf of Indus University, Ahmedabad, Gujarat, Bharatvarsh, myself, Vedvyas Dwivedi, I take this opportunity to thank Sri Aurobindo Society for giving this opportunity to interact, to collaborate, and to do something, to contribute something for the overall development of the nation, especially unity and integrity, wherein our president, Dr. Nagesh Bhandari ji, has permitted us, and he is kind enough to allow us to collaborate with. And we have a chapter in the name of Sri Aurobindo Chair at Indus University. I'll take 1.5 minutes to introduce Indus University so that all the people present over here can at least understand what and where it is, what it is doing. Indus University has got established in 2012, and it's a NAC accredited university wherein we have 123 courses. It is in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, and we have Indian knowledge system in practice, not in theory, not in syllabus only, not in words only, but in practice. And that is how Indus University is different than other universities. It is different from other universities, and we have contributed in framing the syllabi as well for Indian knowledge system, that is Bharatiya Gyan Parampara. And for this we have a special center known as Center for Indic Studies, wherein our director is Dr. Ram Sharma, and he is a member of UGC as well for IKS system. As far Indus University is concerned, our executive president, Dr. Sandeep Chakravarti, is also present online, so that we can do something better and beyond this online talks and meetings. So later on, we are going to do something more useful and beneficial for the society at large. As for this session is concerned, I'm privileged and thankful to Tripathi ji and respected chairman Pradeep ji for giving such a wonderful opportunity to share some of my experiences and thoughts. As you know, it's a state of Gujarat, wherein there is a place known as Karamsad. This Karamsad is in the district of Anand. Anand means Amul Dairy. You have heard the name of Amul Dairy, and Karamsad is a part of Anand. It's 3 kilometers from railway station Anand, wherein our beloved and honorable first Deputy Prime Minister of Bharat and first Home Minister of Bharat, our Sardar Patel, Vallabhbhai Patel, has his birthplace is there, and the school as well where he studied his primary schooling. It is in his name only. So I'll take opportunity to present some of the points what I have collected from here and there, so that the people sitting away from here can just allow me to present. I'm happy to say that many of my friends are there. Dr. Paresh Dobaria, he is principal of Government Law College, Surendranagar, and to be Dr. Mayuri is also there from Prayagraj. I'm very happy to see that two things are very important in case of Sardar Patel, and one of them is the statement, the quote he had given to the society. We all know that about Sardar Patel ji has given about 61 quotes to this nation, to the society, to Bharat. And these, one of the quotes is, manpower without unity. Now see, why the Statue of Unity here in Bharat, why it is in Gujarat has been installed, and it is because of this quote. See the quote, manpower without unity is not a strength unless it is harmonized and united properly, then it becomes a spiritual power. I'll focus on these two power, manpower and spiritual power. Manpower and spiritual power, just keep in mind and go ahead. See, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and he lived here on this earth for 75 years. He was the first deputy prime minister and first home minister of the then India, that is Bharat. So why we are here gathered today? Because he was the best guide and he was the best source of inspiration for all the citizens of all the nations. It is not for Bharat only, it is not for India only, but it is for all the nations on the earth. Why? Because everywhere unity is required. Why? Because everywhere power, what kind of power? Manpower and spiritual power, both are required. It is not that manpower is there and there is no spiritual power and man can get success. It is never possible and it is never going to be possible. So in the past, minus infinite time and plus infinite time in the future, it is forever true that the manpower and spiritual power, if unity is there, then only it can become a strength of a nation, and it is required for all the citizens of all the nations worldwide. And that is why I'm very happy to share this slide to everyone. I think it is visible to you. There is a Sardar Patel and Vittal Bhai Patel. Just see the names. Sardar Patel and Vittal Bhai Patel Memorial. And where is it? It is in Karamsad, Karamsad, where I visited this place. The central photo is of that memorial, where it was the Honorable President of Bharat, Abdul Kalam ji, also had visited this place, and it is a very good place to visit. And all the schools nearby visit this place. There is a good museum, there is a good learning, and many learnings I have taken from this memorial today I'm going to share with you all. So this is what is the picture of this Karamsad, where this Sardar Patel and his brother Vittal Bhai Patel memorial is there. Friends, I'm very happy to share one more thing with you, that this entire city of Vallabh Vidyanagar was established by Vittal Bhai, supported by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and it is a very lush green area having more than 60 schools and colleges. So what he did for education, what he did for the upliftment of quality education, improvement of quality education, is visible over here at Vallabh Vidyanagar in the district of Anand near Karamsad. And this is what is the place. I got inspired from this visit at this memorial, and I found three important things which are written over there. And what has been written over there? One, two movements. One is Kheda movement. Kheda is one of the districts in Gujarat, and other is Bardoli movement, and that is also a district in Gujarat. Where Satyagraha Andolan, that is non-violent civil disobedience or protest movement, happened. When it happened? It happened in 1918 and in 1928. It see the duration. So it was so so huge participation, huge large number of participation of farmers, that about 80,000 farmers. It is not a less number. 80,000 plus farmers, they were there in the Satyagraha Andolan, and it was all led and properly organized and managed by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel ji. So managing such a huge agitation movement itself says everything about the person that is known as to be Iron Man of Bharat. Therefore, this Jallianwala Bagh massacre also, in that protest also, Sardar contributed a lot. And then after, in independence movement also, he contributed a lot. That is known to all of us. So these three main contributions are displayed over there in the museum. So the students, the other visitors, other guests, anyone coming to this memorial, to this museum, there is a documentary. So in that documentary, they talk about all those things in detail. That documentary is of about 2 hours. And what we learn from there, the first lesson we learn from Sardar's life is determination and organizational skill. It is very important. Today, we and all the other universities and colleges and many teaching institutions and organizations are trying to impart such skills to their students and new entrants. I mean, the new employees as well as to the students. And what we want to teach them, what we want to train them, that is organizational skill and firm determination, how to hold the things and to become a decision maker, perfect decision maker. And that is what is taught over there in the museum about to the people about Sardar Patel. And self-confidence. Self-confidence is not earned from somewhere, it is not learnt from anywhere, but it is the inner feeling. It is from inside, it is not from the outside. And a person can be self-confident only when he or she is 100% perfect character, and honest to the duties, to the responsibilities, and he or she is very much resonant with the requirements, and from inside he fulfills the criteria. And the third characteristic which is taught to the people is related to again Sri Vallabhbhai Patel, is unwavering commitment to the nation's freedom. And the sentence now I am reading is written over there: post independence unification. What recently in the address our respected President Dr. Nagesh Bhandari ji told, post independence unification of Bharat. I mean, at that time people used to say India, that is for 565 princely states. It is not a joke, it was a dream. And uniting them, integrating them, political stability maintenance, establishing the political stability. And during that period, it was really a dream, but that was done by the great leader Sardar Patel. Sardar Patel played a pivotal and multifaceted role under various heads, say social activism, political strategy, nation building, very important point. And this is what in the documentary they are saying in Gujarati also. Nation building was the main motive of Sardar Patel. And therefore today we are here to learn something about him, to see what Sardar Patel has done for the society and for the nation, especially in the words of Sri Aurobindo ji. Sardar Patel was the only strongest person in the Congress. The Congress means that time there was a Congress. So he told the only strongest person in the Congress is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. That is not a, it is not a small sentence. It is not a joke, but it is a very serious statement given by such a learned spiritual leader, such a learned, I say him yogi, I say him tapasvi, I say him adhyatmic guru. And if such a person is saying, such a highly learned person is saying about Sardar Patel, then there are things and lots of things to learn from Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. And what major principles of his life? As I told, Indus University believes in practice. So how it does one jump into the life of practices? It is to be learnt from Sardar Patel. Sardar Patel told there are two eyes of any nation, and that is one, unity, that is also known as to be integrity, that is unity and integrity is one eye, and social justice is another eye of a nation. So एक राष्ट्र की दो चक्षु होते हैं, एक चक्षु unity integrity and another चक्षु is social justice. So it connects both of them. There is not intersection, there is a union of unity, integrity and social justice. So in the language of mathematics, we say one, unity and integrity is for geographical and other this one, and social justice is for cultural and binding the heart to heart, the people to connect. And that is how a nation can progress. And the person who can do this is a true leader. So Sardar Patel is a true leader and true spiritual leader. And because he was quoted, there is a good remark. It is an appraisal for Sardar Patel by Sri Aurobindo ji, that he is the strongest person. Now just let us think that how can such a learned guru say about Sardar Patel the strongest person? It does not mean strong by physique, strong by other means, strong by money, or strong by any other kind, but strong from inside to outside and strong from outside to inside. So 100% resemblance, 100% resonance, 100% match of a person inside and a person outside. So when there is a resonance, the maximum power is generated. So Sardar Patel was said to be the strongest person in the Congress. Then the meaning was that he was 100% resonant person. So what he said, he did, and what he did, he said. So let us learn the lesson from this statement of Sri Aurobindo ji, that Sardar Patel is the strongest person, means we people should learn these things from Sardar Patel's life. And then some yogi, some guru again will say about you, about me, that he or she is also a strong person. And that is how his spiritual foundations were made. And how, under what heads? So I have divided in some heads. I have taken from some research articles also. One, influence of Gandhi. This is a very important point, that Sardar Patel was not a rigid person. I have heard in one meeting, in a formal meeting, he was a very rigid person. So I opposed, no, it is not a rigidity, but if he is rigid, then he would not have been influenced by Gandhi ji. Though there were differences between Patel ji and Nehru ji, but it was in principle. Siddhantic differences the. It does not mean one was rigid and other was polite. It does not mean. Therefore, we people of Bharat, should always think why in the name of Sri Sardar Patel ji, a National Unity Day or Rashtriya Ekata Divas is being celebrated. And that is, if a person is so adaptable, so flexible, so learned, so highly from inside qualified, highly noble hearted person, then only in the name of that fellow, that great person, National Unity Day or Rashtriya Ekata Divas is being celebrated. One a very important point I have learnt from that museum for Sardar Patel, and I want to share, and they have written that uh, 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 Sardar Patel ji is known for his practical approach in addressing issues with realistic solutions rather than idealistic theories. This is very important for all of us. Anyone on this earth, anyone in this country, this sentence is very much important. What realistic solutions? Generally we fall in, we get trapped into, we fall into the illusion of solutions as, and we consider it to be realistic. Actually it may not be realistic. We always get diverted from realistic solutions to idealistic theories and vice versa, which is not useful for the whole society, for the common human beings. And therefore this lesson we people should learn from Sardar Patel's life. As for legal part is concerned, he was always concerned to the legal affairs of any matter. If any decision he was taking, any decision he was involved in, he used to think thrice. This is what is said in the documentary about civil rights, then justice, and then legal part. So every time he used to do it so that the people do not get separated from their mission, from their goals, from their life goals, and they get integrated with their life. It should not get separated, that doing something and saying something. And that is why legal rights, civil rights, justice, and legality of the things he used to see, and this is what they emphasize to the people who are watching this documentary. Also, as I told in the beginning, he and his brother, they established more than there is a university, Sardar Patel University, from where I did my second PhD in management, Sardar Patel University. Now this Sardar Patel University is having more than 60-70 colleges, and these colleges, these schools, and many other small charitable organizations are were established, and their foundation was basically done by Sardar Patel and his brother Vittal Bhai ji. And that is why we say him the leader in education, and he believed in quality education. You will be surprised to know that in number of institutions being run by his foundation or the foundation in his name, they impart education for the girls fully free. There is no charge. All the girls are being taught free of charge because of the foundation, because of the principle, because of the vision and mission in the beginning they had established. Then nationalism and non-violence is very much clear to all of us. I'll take this opportunity here to share with you. Is it visible, Dr. Tripathi ji?
Yes,
Yeah,
visible.
Thank you. Now, this is written in Gujarati, though you are geographically far away, but you can see this is Sardar Smriti Shala, Karamsad. This is what is written there. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's. So the primary school here he was studying. Now it has been renovated. And this is another picture of the same. This is the house, and this is from inside. And this is from outside home. This is the school, you can see. This is again one picture from inside. And I'll take 1 minute to showcase the video of the campus. I recorded it. This is the school where Sardar Patel was studying in primary school. Now it has been renovated. So you will enjoy that. This is the school. It is hardly 3 kilometers from my house where I am staying near, and our university is about 90 kilometers from over here. So as I told you, the 63 quotes have been have been said by Sardar Patel, and out of 63, roughly 51 quotes are related to unity, justice, and integrity. Now, why I have collected all those things? Because I thought there will be people, very fresh people also, there will be students also who can take benefit from over here. They can work on it, they can learn from it, and they can implement these quotes in their life. And that is why being a teacher, being a shikshak, this is my core responsibility and duty to pass it on and to make it available to the people. And these are the inspirational and motivational quotes from Sardar Patel. And what these 63 quotes are, they all are related to leadership. As I told, some of the quotes are related to leadership, some of the quotes are related to unity, some of the quotes are related to discipline, very important for the life, because for any human being, the two I's are discipline and punctuality. So if discipline is missing, then you are not a human being, but you are very near to an animal. So determination, governance, and freedom. Now see what Sardar Patel has chosen the areas. Leadership, it is highly needed for success, for growth, for development, for productive and constructive development of any country, any society, any nation. For any individual, unity, again, on the same pattern and track, is highly required for any nation, any society to grow. Discipline, determination, governance. Governance is the true characteristic. The true governance, productive governance is the true leader for any nation. So these are 10 quotes wherein I'll read one of them, which is very important. A war based on satyagraha. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sixth number from the top. A war based on satyagraha is always of two kinds. This is written there in Gujarati also. And one is the war we wage against injustice. Every now and then, from morning to evening, evening to morning, every day, every week, every month, every year, every life, every society is facing. And what they are facing, we are facing injustice. Injustice of many kinds. It is the injustice from inside. It is injustice in behavior. It is injustice in our habits. It is injustice in our character. So that is what is a war. So it is at individual level as well as it is at a social level also. Similarly, weaknesses. Everyone is having some weakness, some limitations are there. So to curb that weakness, we have to become a strong person. And this is what they have written in the school where Sardar Patel ji was studying. So weakness is not allowed. Injustice in act or in any form is not allowed. So therefore, Sardar Patel is known as to be Lauha Purush, because he did not believe in weaknesses. He did not believe in tolerating the injustice. Also, he over there, one more sentence is written that I will take in the next slide. Yeah, faith and strength. And this is what he told. Again, here I have written 10 main quotes from Sardar Patel. So kindly, I'll share this. So kindly share to everyone on this earth. This is my humble request, handfold request to everyone, urge to everyone. Please share it to your children, in your family, in your friends, in your society, in your relatives, to your colleagues, to your peers, everyone. Please share to them, because if they read, they will try to implement in their life. They will try to practice in their life. Otherwise, it will be only in the paper. Many of us, all 18, 19, 20 people here, also might not be knowing about all these quotes that Sardar Patel gave. We daily see in WhatsApp, on Facebook, on here and there, that some ex-Englishman, wife French, has given this quotation. But we do not look into what our great men like Sardar Patel and Sri Aurobindo ji had given. We don't bother about seeing those quotations. These people have just translated and stolen our quotations, and they are serving it back to us in English, but we are not focusing on what our ancestors and great men and women have given to us. So faith and strength, both are essential to accomplish any great work. Before he started his work, there is a very small story in Gujarati here, famous in Karamsad, and it is related to Sardar Patel and his uncle. And this quotation has come from the Gujarati this saying, and that is what is translated in English. And that great work was, he was about to go to London for to England for studying his law, and at that time some saying was there from his one of the family members, and that saying was faith and strength. If you have faith in you, if you are strong from inside, and if you have that vision, then you can accomplish that goal, and that is not impossible. And that is what is written in Gujarati. Then after, these are some of the Sanskrit the quotations which are also translated in Gujarati, and I thought they all are related to unity, integrity, leadership, governance. They all are related to that one. So and those who know Sanskrit, those who know Hindi, they can read from over here, and it is very much easy to understand. It is very, very much easy, and there is nothing hard in it. Another Sanskrit quotations related to unity and related to integrity of society and nation are these many. They are also over there in Gujarati, but I have taken them in Sanskrit and Hindi. You can see bahunam chaiva sattvanam samavayo ripunjayah varshadhara dharo megha Trinairapi nivaryate. So good it is. So these are some of the statements which are there. Some of the quotations again are over there, and they are here for all of us. And one of them is again related to Satyagraha is gentle. It never admits any kind of violence. So he never believed in violence. He always had faith, practiced non-violence, and that is what he told, non-violence. And this is what has been taken from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and the same also has been number of times I have seen in the talks and in the works of Sri Aurobindo ji. Non-violence, and non-violence has to be observed in thought, in word and deed, and this is going to lead a nation to be united. Because if there is a violence, there is no scope of unity, there is no scope of integrity, because the ideas will not match, the thoughts will not match, the people will not meet, their vision will not meet, their goals will not be same. They will be in multi-dimensional manner anyhow surviving. So non-violence is the first and foremost requirement for unity of a nation, unity of a society, and that is there in practice, in thought, in word, in deeds. And that is what the common thing, very common, and it is very easy to understand that it was common between both these great ancestors of Bharat, and दोनों भारत के महान हमारे पूर्वज Arvind ji and Patel ji. So they had given this message to all of us. So this is again a very common and very strong platform, and that is a good learning for all of us. If we could not learn, then you can understand we will be failed, and we are failing today because there is everywhere violence, everywhere violence, violence to the self, violence to the others, violence direct, violence indirect, everywhere it is. If you watch yourself properly, then one thought crashing to your mind and another thought again coming to the mind in sequence may not match. And if you are not calm and cool from the thought process, then you are not non-violent. You are doing some violence to the self. Everywhere we are seeing the people are, I mean, especially the teenage students and people are suiciding. It is not suicidal of physique, but it is suicide of a society, suicide of a culture, suicide of a trend, from several lakhs and lakhs of years, that we are failing because we are not in a position. In our practice it is not there. Actually we are talking but we are not doing, and that is what is very disappointing part for all of us. Another quote, other quotes are here. So these are 63 quotes, and based on all these quotes, if you see why the government of Bharat, respected and beloved Prime Minister Honorable Modi ji, has taken this name, that statue of Patel. Why not Patel? Statue of Sardar, why not? But why statue of unity? Because in all these 63 quotations, you will see that more than 50 are on unity. This place, grand salute to this person, this great leader of Bharat. And I don't have any words to express when we visit this place, how beautiful, what kind of feelings, what kind of message we get for the nation. भारत को एकात्म भाव से आगे बढ़ाने हेतु किस प्रकार का संदेश यह मूर्तिमान महापुरुष देता है. It cannot be expressed in words. It cannot be. Anyhow, you cannot. You can just feel, you can realize, but you cannot express. So the only solution to understand the deeds, the thoughts, the words of this great person is to visit the place and understand and learn the lesson from his life. Friends, these are from the Vedas, and this is not there in the Sardar Patel memorial, but this I have specially taken from Rig Veda, and it is from Atharva Veda, and it is very much important. See how our Vedas promote unity, harmony, identity. How do they promote integrity? How do they promote unanimity? So ऐक्यं बलं समाजस्य तद्भावे स दुर्लभः तस्मात् ऐक्यं प्रशंसति दृढ़ं राष्ट्र हितैषिणः. It says एकता समाज का बल है, एकताहीन समाज दुर्बल है. Today in Bharat we see एकताहीनम, एकताहीनता आज मोबाइल में चली गई है. एकताहीनता हमारे डिजिटल वर्ल्ड का एक बहुत बड़ा लक्षण है. राष्ट्रहित सोचने वाले एकता को बढ़ावा देते हैं. It says, and that is what is Sardar Patel, and that is what is Sri Aurobindo ji. They were just thinking, they were just acting for the unity of the nation, for the strength of the nation, for the strength of the people, for the unity of the people. Sangachadvam sambadadhvam samvo mananse janatam deva bhagam yatha purve sanjanana upasate. See, You will be appraised only when your work is divine. And your work is divine when there is a unity. And when there is a unity, people will speak one voice, people will be harmonious to each other, and there will be minds of agreement. There will be no differences, and then the nation will grow, and then the nation will be productive. Otherwise, the productivity of the nation will go down. And so, if the nation is not in the top 10 developed countries, top 5 countries, then it is what we have to think on. Why? Because we are not united, because we are not integrated, and therefore we don't deserve to be said as to be the people of the followers of such great people like Sardar Patel and Sri Aurobindo ji. Therefore, it is our moral duty, it is our moral responsibility. Now see, Sri Aurobindo has said, what he said about of him, about whom? About Sardar ji. He was the only, capital letter ONLY, only one in the Congress who had strength. What does it mean? This sentence says everything. If you give this topic to a PhD student, then it will take 3 years to understand what is the meaning of this Sri Aurobindo's statement about Sardar Patel. He said, he means the Sardar Patel was the only one in the Congress who had strength. Strength of what? We can understand. What kind of strength? And how he gained that strength? Was it on paper? So he told, Patel was a strong man by any description, by and standard. In every village in India, there is one such man, maybe more. What does this sentence mean? We, the people of Bharat, every village, there are lakhs and lakhs of villages in Bharat. There are about 850 districts in Bharat out of 30, all the states. And out of these 850 districts, if we see, then there are lakhs of villages. And out of those villages, if we pick one person like Sardar Patel, then there will be a big army having everyone cloned like Sardar Patel. So there will be a cloning of Sardar Patel from one person from one village. And if a person like, if a yogi like, if a tapasvi like, if a noble-hearted spiritual leader like Sri Aurobindo is saying that in every village in India, there is one such man, maybe more. So forget about more, because we are very much optimistic. There is nothing wrong, but at least there is one person in one village. So suppose in Bharat there are, say, lakhs of villages, then there will be an army of lakhs of, Patel ji, Patel sir. And if they are there, what does it mean? No nation can think of attacking Bharat. No nation can think of bad for Bharat. No nation can think negative for Bharat, and Bharat will automatically become a unified nation, international, and globally the best country on this earth. And that is what is my message today, that let us follow Sri Aurobindo's statement, his thought, his words for Sardar Patel, and then the nation. So seeing Viksit Bharat in 2047 will not be a dream then. Then no planning will be required. No action will be required. Only this action will speak and do everything for Bharat. And that is what I'm saying. Patel was the globalist. Patel has a legacy, and let us sing the song of freedom in the name, in the language, in the words of Patel. Why not? It is possible. When Sri Aurobindo ji is endorsing it, then it is not impossible. But yes, we have to initiate for it. Many more things are there related to some policies which got aligned with Sardar Patel and Sri Aurobindo ji. These policies actually due to Sardar Patel's intervention and because of his interpretation and his action, these policies were more or less nullified. And then after Sardar Patel, his main contribution, what is known to the people of layman's, is uniting and integrating the 565 princely states, and that is what is known to us very much. So I thought I should cover it. So these are the 7 factors where Indian Union was formed first. So all these 7 factors I have noted down, and anyone interested can read it later. And some of the articles. One more thing, IAS and IPS, and I mean UPSC examination was introduced by Sardar Patel. So that is why he is known as to be architect of Bharat. The whole this UPSC and IAS, IPS and other civil services examinations and everything, this foundation, in its foundation is the idea of Sardar Patel, and he implemented it. Though if you read the history, I mean modern history, you will come to know that there were so many chief ministers, there will be so many people who opposed this scheme of Sardar Patel, and they told it is not possible, it is not good. But Sardar Patel kept it. He forcefully, if you say, he convinced the people, and then they got agreed upon, and then they established this system of UPSC, and today is working fantastically for Bharat. So this is what is the main one of the main contributions as an architect of Bharat by Sardar Patel. My dear friends, some of the other topics are there, we can talk on it, but I think I should skip. It's already 7:10. So I'll take one sentence. Here I have written that Sardar's contribution to India's independence and unity are profound. Independence and unity. His leadership, commitment to social service and efforts in unifying the nation have left an indelible mark on India's history. Now, Bharat history, and his ideas and actions continue to be relevant in discussions about national integrity and governance today. So with this word, I think I have spoken much. I have taken more time than the time assigned to me. So I take this opportunity to thank everyone at Pondicherry, across Bharat, at Ahmedabad, across the earth, and all those who are online, who have joined us today. And we are very much grateful. We are thankful to everyone. So thank you very much. And if any kind of because I in excitement, if I have spoken beyond my limits, so kindly pardon me and mujhe kshama karenge. Nothing was because of the intention, but everything is because there is inside fire, thirst is there, अंदर प्यास है, अंदर आग लगी हुई है कि why not Bharat will become the Gyan Guru, not Vishwa Guru, Gyan Guru. Vishwa is very small unit. Gyan Guru, Gyan means the whole universe, pura Brahmand. So why not Gyan Guru? We are. There is no doubt at all. But when we are on such platforms where we can do something, we can say something, we can inspire someone. See, motivation is again a very small thing. I don't want to motivate anyone because आतंकवादियों को भी motivate किया जा सकता है. So we can inspire if someone, then why not to do? And this is the platform from where we can do something good, and we can justify and we can claim that yes, we are the हम उनके followers हैं जो सरदार पटेल और श्री अरविंदो जी जैसे महान लोग इस देश में हो चुके हैं. हम मृत्यु के बाद उनको आंख से आंख मिला के देख सकें. That much karma we can do if at least through this platform then also this life will be a noble life. Dhanyavad.
Thank you so much, Professor Vedbhas Dwivediji, for presenting the historical facts, what Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel ji contributed, not only for the unity of this country, but also for the entire humanity. We can see but the depth of your knowledge and expertise on this subject domain, and the way you have interpreted and addressed the critical issues, that is much more important. And really, I also came to know many things, many new things, because we are not into that, and many people said. So thank you so much for your beautiful insights, and we will continue this. This is a beginning. So kindly allow me to add something what from Sri Aurobindo's perspective. You see, thank you so much, Maya. We'll meet again. And when we talk about this great country, which was made by the tapas of the millions of the sages and the seers, what Maharshi Aurobindo writes in his Bhavani Bharati, one of the famous epics which he wrote in Sanskrit language, he says it is due to the penance of the rishis, those who are seated in the Himalayas. Through their tapas, we are able to live in this country, and this country is prospering. This is one of the famous lines. So when we see this evolution and the development of this great country, which is called the Bharat, Sri Aurobindo was born in 1872 and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in 1875. We can see how these two immortal souls have given their entire life for the upliftment of humanity, and also to bring freedom, unity, and integrity among the nations. You see, it was in 1947, 14th August, not 15th, when our country was liberated. Maharshi Aurobindo gave a message to the All India Radio, to the people of India, and to the entire humanity. He mentioned one line that India is free but not united. Out of its more than 75 years of existence, what our esteemed President of Indus University presented, that after 75 years of existence, still we are surviving, still we are in a progressive phase, in a developing, and many things has to be achieved. Maharshi Aurobindo refers that India is free but not united. You see, what are the social circumstances and the changing dynamics, what is happening nowadays? It is only what Sri Aurobindo emphasized on the change of consciousness that can bring a positive and a dynamic change to the society. And when we talk about the unity and peace, Maharshi Aurobindo referred that a new spirit of oneness will take hold of the human race. So the new spirit of oneness, that is much more important. It is not only to think someone as the greatest, someone is the inferior, someone is the superior, but an equality in consciousness and equality in harmony that is much more needed. Maharshi Aurobindo had given special emphasis on these two things, that unity is the fundamental and the basic factor for our existence. If we are not united, then will not be able to exist. United we stand, that the famous quote. Let me take some 5-10 minutes to share something what Sri Aurobindo's vision on this topic. In his famous writing, Vande Mataram, it is 2 volumes published by Sri Aurobindo Ashram Trust. In Vande Mataram, mainly Sri Aurobindo's revolutionary writings were published. And many of the British people, one of the British people met with Sri Aurobindo and told that he is the most dangerous person of India, because Sri Aurobindo's ideas, his writings were so revolutionary, defending the British ideas and also struggling for the freedom movement of this nation. The British identified him as the most dangerous person of India, because Sri Aurobindo's thoughts, his ideas, his realities, his writings are much more conventional to that day's activities. Sri Aurobindo had written in his famous treatise Vande Mataram, unity of action along with the unaffected by difference of methods is a kind of unity which we do not understand. I want to repeat again. Unity of action along with the unaffected by difference of methods is a kind of unity which we do not understand. Sri Aurobindo much emphatically has emphasized that unaffected by differences in methods, difference of methods, what the Rishi speaks about, Ekam Shat Vipra Baudha Vadanti. The Vedic Rishi speaks of that Ekam Shat, the truth is one, but it has been presented by the wise differently. Sri Aurobindo again writes in his famous treatise Vande Mataram, unity is not a means but an end, not an important or necessity, help to arriving at progress, freedom and greatness, but itself at once progress, freedom and greatness. When we talk about Sri Aurobindo's contribution, the way he has interpreted the great ethos of India, he was considering Bharat as his mother. Many of his writings, he has invoked the goddess Bharati, the Bharat, as his mother, and he tried to bring this unity and integrity, which is not only for the Indian society, but also for the whole world. And in one of his messages, Sri Aurobindo talks about the world union. And in his 5 dreams, Sri Aurobindo speaks about the evolution of a change of consciousness, which can bring a positive and dynamic light to the earth. Sri Aurobindo has also writes about the greatness of India. I would like to read one passage, it's very important. India of the ages is not dead, nor has she spoken her last creative word. She lives and has still something to do for herself and the human peoples. And that which must seek now to awake is not an anglicized Oriental people, docile people of the West and doomed to repeat the cycle of the Occident success and failures. But still the ancient immovable Shakti recovering her debased self, lifting her head higher towards the supreme source of light and strength, and turning to discover the complete meaning and a vaster form of her dharma. Shouldn't that given a special emphasis that the inner spirit of the Sanatana Dharma needs to be re-established. It should be reinterpreted because it is the eternal law. When he spoke about the unity and integrity of this nation, Sri Aurobindo had also given special emphasis for the upliftment, for the reinterpretations, re-establishment of the social ethos that we have. And what he says, it is not be to awake is not to an anglicized Oriental people, docile people of the West and doomed to repeat the cycle of the Occident success and failures. You see what kind of spiritual awakening or warning which is flowing through the writings of Sri Aurobindo. And another thing, one Sri Aurobindo also saying that India lies low in selflessness and fearfulness and limitness. Make us great, make our efforts great, our hearts vast, make us true to our resolve. May we no longer desire the small void of energy given to laziness, stricken with fear. In the famous Bhavani Bharati poem, Sri Aurobindo, his interaction with the goddess Bharat Mata, he's interpreting Utishthata, that means he's empowering to awaken the consciousness to make this country free from the British ruling, also to get freedom from the life and death of the bondage and this. So when Sri Aurobindo's writings, especially making India's freedom movements, as well as also his struggle to bring unity and integrity among the human consciousness, that is one of the important factors which needs to be studied. And Sri Aurobindo, in that way, when Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel has given special emphasis for uniting the 536 princely states, Sri Aurobindo spoke about the forming of world union. That is one of the fundamental factors to establish the human unity. Again, Sri Aurobindo also emphasized that unity of that integrity of Mother India, and Sri Aurobindo writes that we must resume India's great interrupted endeavor. We must take up boldly and execute thoroughly in the individual and in the society, in the spiritual and in the mundane life, in philosophy and religion, in art and literature, in thought, in political and economic and social formulations, the full and unlimited sense of our highest spirit and knowledge, I unquote. Sri Aurobindo again emphasizes on how what is the noble mission of India, although Bharat Mata, the Mother Goddess, this country was suffering through the suffering of many of the hostile attacks of thousands and thousands of years. It was not suppressing in community or culture, but it was compressing the consciousness of the developmental faculties. What Sri Aurobindo refers another thing, that a wisest and highest spiritualizing of life on earth is the last vision of all, that vast and on example, seeking and experiment in 1,000 ways of the soul's outermost and innermost experience, which is the unique character of India's past. This is the end, is the mission for which she was born and the meaning of her existence. India's role is not to become the Vishwaguru in terms of getting the #1 positions among the world, but also the widest and highest spiritualizing life on earth. What Sri Aurobindo refers about India's spiritual gift of India to the world, measuring in, especially entering in the United America and the European continents. What Sri Aurobindo mentioned is 1947. I'd like to tell something in this context. You see, when we study the history, world history, we find there are civilizations. There were civilizations, and when these civilizations came in contact with each other, they forgot how to live in a harmonious way. So they fought with each other. The world history says there is a fighting between these civilizations, and as a result, the civilizations were collapsed. So what the concept came, rise of nations, new nations came out. And this problem is still going on. There is a demand from each and every nation to fragment the inner consciousness and to break the consciousness, the countries into different forms. So in this way, what is happening, the integrity and the unity of countries, not only in India, you see many of the countries, the world is scattered. You take the example of USSR. When USSR collapsed, these 5 stans came out. You take the example of the division of India and Pakistan came out. Many of examples you can find. We have borders everywhere. We have created the boundaries. And what the United Nations Education, Science and Cultural Organization refers, that since war was started from the human mind, it is peace which needs to be constructed, reconstructed in human mind. It is our responsibility to choose whether we want war or peace. And the peace is the ultimate thing which can be established on it is basically the victory of the hostile forces on, just one second. So basically, when we talk about this difference between the peace and war, what Sri Aurobindo refers that peace is the ultimate thing which needs to be established, and that is the existence of the entire humanity. And when you refer to Sri Aurobindo's writings, especially his contribution not only to bring freedom for this nation, but also to bring the spiritual freedom for the entire humanity. And Sri Aurobindo refers that a new spirit of oneness, he talks about a spirit of oneness will take hold of the human race. And we see how Sri Aurobindo's contributed through his magnificent writings. And based on his teachings and as spiritual collaborator, the Sri Aurobindo Ashram was established in 1926. And in 1960, Sri Aurobindo Society was established. And in 1968, the Auroville Foundation was established. And as the vision of the mother, that the world is basically fragmented. There are nations, there are different nations, people live a different caste, creed, and religion. But the mother dreamed about there should be a place on earth. People, forgetting their caste, creed, religion, they should live in a harmonious way. I hope many of you have visited this famous city, international city called Auroville Foundation. So Sri Aurobindo Ashram, Sri Aurobindo Society, and Auroville Foundation is basically a triangle process. And there are hundreds of institutions connected with us, India and abroad. There are many lot of scopes are also there. And when we talk about Sri Aurobindo's contribution in this field, as I mentioned, that Sri Aurobindo not only fought to bring freedom for this country, Sri Aurobindo also fought for the spiritual freedom, what he talks about, highest spiritualizing life on earth. So Sri Aurobindo also refers what exactly India's role. India has always existed for humanity, not for herself. So it is basically the culture of Atithi Devo Bhava. It is a culture of giving. Sri Aurobindo also has emphasized that now the time has come for Mother India to fulfill her destiny. And spirituality is indeed a master key of the Indian mind. So what exactly the Vedic Rishi speaks of, it is basically the unification of matter and spirit, and beyond than the materialistic necessities, the Vedic Rishis have spoken about the spiritual transformation of the humanity, and they have given much more emphasis that spirituality needs to be addressed. In this process, Sri Aurobindo not only a theoretical way, but Sri Aurobindo has also interpreted many of the Indic scriptures. You take the example of hymns to the mystic fire, the secret of the Vedas. He also reinterpreted the Upanishads because it was the mind, it was the plan of the Buddhist people to translate these scriptures in a more and we didn't find many of the scriptures, we find some wrong interpretations. Thanks to the great leaders like Maharshi Aurobindo, Adi Sankaracharya, those who have taken serious effort to reinterpret the scriptures, not only to kindle and fire of inspiration, but also to look back our great country and how to contribute for a great and prosperous nation. Aurobindo against that India has become the symbolic representation of all the difficulties of modern mankind, and India will be the land of its resurrections, the resurrection of a higher and truer life. That is the novel arrive. What about scripture skips about the four principles of existence? That is, the first one is the pragyanam brahman. That the real existence of the knowledge is pragyanam, that is the wisdom. Brahman is the second principle says, when I realize that pragyanam, the real wisdom, then I becomes the part of the Brahman. It says, aham brahmasmi, I am the Brahman. And when I realizes that Brahman and that ultimate reality within me, I also see everything, all the beings, Tattvamasi, you are thou art that. And the entire cosmic evolution process, the scripture speaks about Ayam Atma Brahma, the soul is part of the universal soul. So this is basically the spirit, the consciousness, the knowledge, the wisdom, the eternity, the unity, the integrity, anything you can interpret. It is basically the Leela of the Vasudeva, what Lord Krishna says in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. The entire universe is dissolved in his, he is in all the beings. So in an evolution process, man, nature, and universe, they are the triple unification part of the sustainable process. But we are isolated because we do not follow the real nature of the universe or the cosmic force. That's why the suffering comes. And many of the individuals, they have tried their level best to bring, to convey the message of the scriptures to bring this ultimate reality. And this peace is the ultimate aim of the human civilization. So when listening to the student president, our chairman, and Professor Vedbhas Dwivedi on the important and very significant ideas, especially what Sri Aurobindo has mentioned, allow me to tell some 2-3 minutes time what Sri Aurobindo and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's connections. It is not Sri Aurobindo has spoken about Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was one of the strongest person of India. One of the important factors in this Kashmir, which is an important factor in the current scenario also, when this Kashmir issue was raised, Sri Aurobindo and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel had written to the Prime Minister at the time. Sri Aurobindo, in his complete workshop, Sri Aurobindo, it is in volume 36, on the Kashmir problem, Sri Aurobindo writes, highly praising Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's. I'd like to read that Patel has made quite clear and uncompromisingly positive, and Nehru has not been less positive. Both of them are determined to resist to the bitter, and any attempt to force a solution which is not consistent with the democratic will of the Kashmir people and their right of self-determination of their own destiny. At the same time, they are trying to avoid a clash if it is at all possible, because this is basically Sri Aurobindo's comments on Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. And again, in Sri Aurobindo's Karma Yoga, in what esteemed my brother Ved Prakash Narayan Devaji presented, Sri Aurobindo mentioned him. He was one of the strongest persons in the Congress community that time. And again, Sri Aurobindo had detained, Patel was a strong man by any description, by any standard. In every village in India, there is one such man, maybe more. And in complete workshop, Sri Aurobindo, in his autobiographical notes and other writings of historical interest, Aurobindo wrote to the editor of the Hindustan. This is one of the important factors which needs to be presented on this context, because we are talking about the contribution of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and Maharshi Aurobindo. I quote, "Whether Mr. Patel's bill is the best way to bring about the object intended is a question on which I can pronounce no decided opinion. I should have preferred a change from within the society rather than one brought about by legislation. But I recognize the difficulty created by the imposition of the rigid and mechanical notions of European jurisprudence on the old Hindu law, which was that a society living and developing by an organic evolution." For Aurobindo speaks about the organic evolution here. So we can see there are years after years has been passed away, and we are recovering the knowledge system, not only about traditions, but also being the citizen of this great nation. It is our fundamental duty to pay our obeisance, our respect to those who have struggled and suffered and contributed for the upliftment, for the freedom of this country. And as our esteemed president of Indus University presented, we have more than 75 years of its existence. Many things are changing. We are also developing into a more developed nation. But I think these issues needs to be discussed again and again. As esteemed Ved Prakash Dwivedi Bhaiya mentioned about these knowledge systems should be spread among the schools, colleges, universities. And thanks to the government by implementing this national education policy, and nowadays by the implementation of the national education policy, by implementation of the Indian knowledge systems, many of the new things are coming up. When we were studying with the government schools in 1985 or 90s, we didn't have such facilities. Nowadays, we are getting much more resources to understand this country's inspirations and how to make it in a prosperous way. And these are the subjects, these are the people, their thoughts needs to be addressed, discussed time again and again, so that we'll be able to understand what way they have contributed. And it was really a wonderful occasion to celebrate the legacy of these two noble souls of Mother India, Sri Aurobindo and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel ji. Those who have immensely contributed not only for the freedom fighting of this nation, but also fought for the evolution, for the entire peace and harmony of the countries. And we can see the entire cultural and the soft power diplomacy of India's, how India is representing its own legacy to other countries, and what are the changing dynamics and acceptance by the other countries to the India's ethos. When I was with the government under the institutions of Ministry of Culture, I was part of some prestigious projects, including nomination of yoga as intangible cultural heritage of humanity, and also part of this Vedic Heritage Portal. And thanks to the government for implementing many of the important projects, which is the need of the hour. And also, I'm glad to learn about the initiatives undertaken by the Indus University by addressing many of the needs, which is... Yes, sir, yes. You want to say something, sir? Okay. So with this, I hope it is a good beginning, although the participation is less, but we will not focus on the participation, because what our esteemed chairman, Sri Pradeep Narang Bhai, I just want to highlight his message once. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel also has spoken emphatically that large numbers will have no value unless there is unity as a binding factor. I unquote. So that large numbers will have no value unless there is a unity as a binding factor. And and you see all these spiritual discourses, the great scriptures, Indian scriptures, the discussion between Lord Krishna and Arjun, there was no one to listen what was happening. There, the discussion between Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati, the famous Shiva Samhita text is there. So we have a tradition to interact with a limited, those who are basically more conscious enough to find to this. And on behalf of Aurobindo Society and Indus University, it was really a wonderful event. We may open this forum for 5-10 minutes. If you have any suggestions or queries or any critics, any suggestions from we have esteemed audience, Professor Ashwin Kumar Shuklaji from UP, then Siddheshwar Shuklaji also, he's from a great scholar. Sandeep Chakravarti is also there. Our esteemed president is there. Mayuri Dwivedi ji, Keshav Chandra Jaina ji, then Sadhan Kumar De, Ashok Kumar. Any views on this discussion or any suggestion, please?
Vande Mataram to all. It was a very nice evening with the auspicious discussion on the subject, and it is a well thought subject and well organized program. Only one comment I would like to add, that is the outcome of the Professor Dwivedi's sayings, that two eyes which were mentioned by learned Professor Dwivedi, unity and social justice, by Sardar Patel's life, and in the light of Sri Aurobindo's thought of ahimsa. So I see that these two ideas of great men are complementary to each other, because without ahimsa, our Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam thought will not prevail. So it is very much useful. It was a useful program to the nation and to the society as well. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And I congratulate Dr. Tripathi for this auspicious occasion and well-organized program. Thank you very much. Vande Bharat.
Thank you so much, Professor Ashwin Kumar Shuklaji, and we appreciate your presence in all our programs. And yeah, definitely we'll work together. It's just a beginning. We are only paying our homage to these great leaders. As you know, that Sri Aurobindo Society, more than 300 branches all over India and abroad. And as in the beginning, I mentioned, due to this festive season, people are they're enjoying the festivals. So the participation is maybe less, but we are continuously working with the communities for the social transformations and for the development. And as I mentioned by the esteemed president and Professor Vedvyas Dwivedi ji, the way they are implementing the transforming the societies through those, we will continue this initiative and we look forward for all of your supports. There is a very important question from Siddheshwar Suklaji. Yes, Siddheshwar ji, you want to say something or shall I read your question? Siddheshwar Suklaji? Yes.
Vande Mataram, sir.
Vande Mataram, please.
Sir, you may read, but if you allow, I can ask my question.
Yeah, please. We want to listen from you. Yes.
One thing is coming in my mind, and I often think on this. We have Sri Aurobindo and Swami Vivekananda, such great philosophers from Bengal. But they gave their ideas and philosophy, wrote a lot before the pre-independence period, and which many of us follow even today. But my concern is, despite having such great philosophers from Bengal, why Bengal suffered from pre-independence till date? Bengal was partitioned, then became Bangladesh. There were significant number of Hindus there. Now they have reduced to insignificant and now on the verge of extension. The same thing is gradually happening to West Bengal. So this comes in my into my mind whether there is any gap in the philosophy of Sri Aurobindo and Sri Swami Vivekananda. If these philosophies, these ideas are so great, then why we are unable to save Bengal and maintain peace and harmony in this region?
Yeah. Yes. You want to say, okay, let me add something. When Sri Aurobindo was in the Alipur jail, he has written extensively. It was the Swami Vivekananda who was constantly inspiring him in his writing. Sri Aurobindo has clearly mentioned. And when we talk about the philosophy of these two leaders, you mentioned about Sri Aurobindo and Swami Vivekananda. You see, their core philosophy was to re-establish the spirit of Sanatana Dharma, and to make this country awake and to get the freedoms. So each one has interpreted in their own way, and whatever little I have understood by study of the complete works of Swami Vivekananda and few writings of Sri Aurobindo, they have given much more emphasis. But I would like to quote one of the famous writings by the mother. It says, "One drop of practice is better than an ocean of theories, advices, and good resolutions." Although we have thousands of scriptures, millions of slokas, and uncountable storehouse of the words, but the practice is limited a little bit. And why why this state is suffering, especially what is happening in West Bengal, in other parts of India, because we are not united. And today's discussion is mainly relevant to this. We are not united. And the pathetic thing is we are not united with ourselves. For example, I'll tell you, being a human being, we have many aspects like our physical, vital, spiritual, psychical, and other things. And we are not united with our faculties. And we do not see the same thing in others. Since we are not united, there are thousands of examples, many words we support because we didn't consider it as a part of our collective consciousness. What the mother emphasizes, the world is preparing for a big change. Will you help? And what is that change? That change is not materialistic at all. You see, the rishis, the sadhus, they do not talk about all these materialistic necessities, whatever. They only aspire for the supreme abode, which the Vedas speaks about, Tad Vishnuhu Paramapadam Sada Pashyanti Suraiha, that the abode of Lord Vishnu, which is aspired by this. So the main thing, what little I have understood, we have their philosophy, they have given special emphasis for the upliftment of this human society, as well as for the freedom from the bondage. There is no difference between Sri Aurobindo and Swami Vivekananda and Sri Aurobindo's philosophy or the philosophy of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. They have interpreted the law in a different way. And it is not a new one. The Vedas speaks ekam shat vipra bahuda badanti. That means the truth is one. The wise speaks differently. But you see, we have uncountable numbers of theories, but in the practice field, what is happening? So since we are not united, we are suffering. We suffered, we are suffering, and we will suffer if we are not united actually. So a little bit of encouragement is needed to understand ourselves, and that unity is the essential factor. If we are not united, this country will be fragmented, broken by pieces into pieces. There is no doubt. There are serious problems. You see what is happening around the world. Maybe we are some 10, 11 people are talking about this peace, unity, integrate, and all this. And it might be a 0.1 against the 99.9%, but if the tapas and satya and tapas is there, this 0.1 may the 0.1 may face the 99.9% of the spiritual things. Siddheswar Shuklaji, you have made a very significant question to this. Only solution, what we feel, if we can unite our consciousness, our brains, and if we in a united way, we can stand. If we're divided, because there are many issues. And in a spiritual way, if you'll see, in a materialistic way, we see, this country is dividing. There are a lot of problems are happening in West Bengal and other parts of the world. But in a spiritual way, what is happening? It is basically the unification of matter and spirit. Once the spirit is disassociated from the matter, the existence is zero. But we hope that in such a big country, spirituality is our inner self, the power, and spirituality, the spirit will establish its existence on the matter and will find that ultimate goal for which we are aspiring for. And that is basically the business, that is basically the efforts of the Vedic seers, great leaders like Maharshi Aurobindo, Rabindranath Tagore, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Swami Vivekananda, Maharshi Dayanand Saraswati, Adiguru Shankaracharya, they have given their emphasis for these systems. So we hope we can pray to the divine to bestow this real knowledge, to get it. And in the individual level, we can contribute to the collective consciousness to do something bigger, to something good for the welfare of humanity. I think Ms. Ved
Can
Prakash
I can
can
I
answer.
ask can I
Yeah,
ask
yeah, please.
one more doubt?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
In comparison to Christian philosophy, and Islamic philosophy. If we see at Indian philosophy, they have something in their philosophy to unite people across the globe. But Indian philosophy and philosophers, they talk about spiritual unity and moksha, etc. But the doubt in my mind is, when there will be no people to follow this philosophy, then what is the final use of spiritual unity and moksha and all those things?
କ୍ଲାଇଣ୍ଟ ଆସିଲା ଆମର ତ ତା
Yeah, it's
ସାଙ୍ଗରେ
a good
ବସିକି
question.
6ଟା 7:30 ହେଇଗଲା ତାପରେ ଜଷ୍ଟ ମୁଁ ଏବେ ବାହାର
It's a good question, actually. Bedbas Bhai, you want to add something to this?
Thank you, Siddheshwar Shukla ji. Thank you very much for such a concern. And this is really a serious concern. Ashtadash Puraneshu Vyasasya Vachanadvayam. 18 पुराण लिखे महर्षि वेदव्यास, एंड ओनली टू थिंग्स ही हाईलाइटेड, परोपकाराय पुण्याय पापाय. तो उन्होंने कहा कि परोपकार से बड़ा कोई पुण्य नहीं है. देयर इज नो नोबल एंड ग्रेट असाइनमेंट एंड जॉब एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी देन डूइंग गुड फॉर अदर्स. बट उसके लिए 18 पुराण लिख दिया. On the same track, pattern and fashion, I think all these great men and leaders and spiritual ideals, they all have given the same principle, same ideology, whether it is Vivekananda ji, or it is Shankaracharya ji, or it is Aurobindo ji, or anyone. The only missing part is implementation, practice. Our ancestors, our great grandparents and everyone, daily they are saying, do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this, but we are not implementing in our lives. So the improvement, reformation, and this change, positive constructive change, will happen only when we start from our own self. One thing I'll just share with you, while doing my postdoc, I just share with you, there were some 18 the scholars from across the earth, and I was doing postdoc on NASA project. So the people were asking me, why you are applying this chandan, why you are using this shikha, why you are using Sanskrit, why not using our attire, this and that, right? Why you are talking about Srimad Bhagavad Gita, why you are talking about Sanatan Dharma, and many more things. They started teasing me, right? They started cutting joke of mine. But gradually, today, out of 19, 17 of them daily salute me with Jai Shri Krishna, and in the night before going to bed, they ask me, Sir Shubharatri. I mean to say, if we start practicing, if we start implementing in our life, see, what we do, people listen. What we do, people, what we say, people do not listen. This is what is my opinion on this issue. So let us see. There is nothing wrong with the present generation. There is nothing wrong with the current generation. Always there is wrong with the previous generation. If I am failed to preach and teach and convey what is required to my next generation, to my daughter, to my son, their daughter, this and that, then I am failed, not they are failed. As a teacher, if I fail to teach my student what is required to be taught, whether it is national integrity, whether it is humanity, whether it is religion, whether it is anything, development, whether it is physical, spiritual, or any kind of, then it is my failure. So your question is really, everyone knows it, and we are really concerned to it, worried about it, that what is the situation of Bengal today and what it was and what is going to happen. So everywhere implementation part is missing, and therefore I think long discussion and well thought planning is required. So let us keep this question live and keep on discussing and finally getting some solution on it, and then we will recommend it to the required authority, the say Bharat Sarkar also, that this is the outcome of our discussion. After next 2-3 more meetings, and we will involve other people also, policy makers, decision makers, the other authorities in government, in private sector, PPP mode. We will involve the students also. So in this day one, on day one, this is a good assignment we have got from respected Siddheshwarji, and we will work on it. I think solution we cannot get right now, but let us keep it live, and we will 100% get a solution, because we are followers of Sri Aurobindo ji, and we are the Patel ji. Therefore, we are going to get it. Let us take the firm determination to solve this question as a live project and get some outcome and recommend to the people concerned. So we will keep it. Right now, I think we cannot come to a conclusion or solution.
Yes.
So I'm really obliged of your thought process. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was a wonderful.
One last line, sir. I'm basically from media. I started my career in 2007 as a reporter in the Pioneer newspaper in Delhi. So during discussion with the persons, reporters of other faith, I often pose with one question: if Sanatan philosophy is so supreme, so strong, then why Sanatani people leave their religion, leave their faith, and join Islam and Christianity in large numbers? So I never respond to this question. So if you can guide me, so what should be the response if I'm posed with such question?
I just want to add something to your second question, and it was a wonderful reply from Vedvas Bhaiya. If you will thoroughly study the religions, I had the privilege to read something about different religions, not thoroughly because I do not have sufficient time to go through, because all the religions are particularly man-made. It is not the God who created all the religions and gave it to in different forms, actually. So it is basically the human natures, the aspirations to form different religions or the cultures, to live in a harmonious way, to follow the law of nature. That disharmony will come, actually. What Sri Aurobindo refers, it is basically in an evolution process. The divine and the hostile will join, they will go together, actually. So yeah, it's a serious problem, especially when we talk about these massive conversions, when people, they move from one religion to another, whether they forcefully it has been done and other things. Simultaneously, we also talk about this inter-religious harmony and finding some common areas or common beliefs and common faiths to understand each other, actually. So in many religions, we find there are certain good practices, some negative practices also. It has its effect and effect. So we cannot control what the esteemed Swami Vivekananda from West Bengal, he says, you cannot change the society. It was his last version, actually. And in one of his speeches, Swami Vivekananda has also mentioned one of the beautiful quotes when I recall. He says that one fruit which is digestible for one person is indigestible for the another person, and both digestible and indigestible for the another person. So do not wish to come to the conclusion and your method is everybody's method. So what is happening nowadays, each and every community is trying to impose whatever thoughts, beliefs, practices, manners on a specific community of people and other things. But in this process, it is not working, actually. So what we believe, we cannot say that many people are changing their religions or going to other communities, and what is the necessity of this religion, religion, actually, because we cannot leave our foundation, in which tradition we are born, whatever practices we are doing. Just one second. We believe in such a tradition or religion. It says, like yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata advyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujamyaham. When these activities of the humans completed, the Lord, eternal Lord, starts its activities. It is basically the voice of Lord Krishna. So we are from a tradition which has suffered, it needs to be reinterpreted, and our efforts will be immensely helpful, not only for the restructuring, but also for the implementation of these things. So we should not lose our faith on this, what will be the future of this, because religion is a kind of monastic order. And the main purpose of religion is not to create diversity. It is basically to create a diversity, a unity in diversity, whatever little I have understood. So although there are different faiths, different religions, different customs and manners, we hope that time will come. Where time will come, people will understand the real spirit of oneness. And maybe these religions, these traditions, the customs, the manners can be a tool to this. So with this great hope, we can proceed this path. The Upanishads also speaks in Kathopanishad, one of the famous mantras of Swami Vivekananda, Uttishtata Jagrata Prapya Baran Nibodhata. Swami Vivekananda has translated this mantra several times in different sentences, but the second line is very important. It says, Khurasya Dhara Nishita Duratvaya Durgam Pathastat Kavayo Badanti. That means walking on the spiritual path is not so easy. It's just like walking on the Rajor's edge. So says by the earlier sages, Patham Durgam Pathastat Kavayo Badanti. वो मार्ग जो है वो बड़ा कठिन है, दुरूह है, बट फिर भी हम एक अखंड शक्ति के ऊपर भरोसा रखते हैं कि जरूर जो अधर्म के ऊपर धर्म की, असत्य के ऊपर सत्य की, या अन्याय के ऊपर न्याय की विजय अवश्य होगी, क्योंकि वो विजय जो है वो अवश्य व्यापी भी है। हो सकता है उसमें देर लगे, हो सकता है उसमें काफी सारे कठिनाई बाधा है, लेकिन सत्य जो है उसको एस्टैब्लिश होना ही है। ऐसा ऋषि मुनियों ने, महर्षियों ने हजारों हजारों साल पहले कहा है। इसलिए एक श्रद्धा के साथ हम अपने मार्ग में बढ़े, यही हमारा एक स्ट्रेंथ है, उससे ज्यादा हम कुछ एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर सकते। और जो चेंज ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस है, द चेंज ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस, व्हाट मदर सेज, बेसिकली द वर्ल्ड इज प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर अ बिग चेंज, विल यू हेल्प, इज आस्किंग ए क्वेश्चन. So that change of consciousness is immensely needed, especially what is happening in this current scenario. And also you can see several examples what happened in the past. And if situation continues like this, maybe we will have to face some serious disasters, but at the ultimate aim, there will be the ultimate peace. But let us see how human beings cooperates, collaborates, contributes to this mainstream, and to achieve this unity in a collective consciousness, which is immensely needed. And Sri Aurobindo, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, they have given special emphasis for this collective consciousness. What is your third question, Siddheswarji? What was your third question?
My last question was, sometimes I face a question from persons and scholars of other communities like Christianity and Islam.
Yes.
They ask, if the philosophy of Sanatan Dharma is so great, why Hindus or Sanatanis, they voluntarily start following Christianity and Islam?
Yeah, it's a serious question actually. Bedwas Bhaiya, you want to say something on this?
Ji, Siddheshwar ji, this is a trend right now. Nowadays, I am seeing also many of us are experiencing also. So it is again the same. I don't blame anyone who is going to other religion. Is not the correct word. It is dharma. Dharma is one, only one, and it is only one dharma, that is Sanatana Dharma. Others are other religion. So because religion is not the exact translation of dharma, because these English people have translated it in some form and format. Anyway, so see, there is a theory in science. If there is a molecule is it contains a number of atoms, and atoms consists of number of elements, say electrons and this and that. What happens, just wait, this dog, so what happens when the outermost orbit electron gets some energy from outside, it liberates the shell orbit and it goes into some other cell, right? So that gap is known as to be energy gap. That energy gap is responsible for conduction of electricity, and the wireless media and everything is the same principle they follow. What happens is, say in my community, in X family, there are 10 members, and member number 10 is less connected, less taught, less practiced of having less practice and knowledge of his or her own origin and dharma. Then he or she may get lucrative offers, and then he or she can leave the original dharma and can go temporarily into some other religion, other dharma, not dharma, in other religion, for many benefits. We are working on it. Indus University and our president and many people are associated with us, and we are working on this kind of issue. And just I'm sharing with you about 4 to 5 migrant Hindus from Pakistan. They are serving in Indus University. Their children are studying here free of cost, and we are paying them salary. They are working over here, and on this project we are working. So what we found is that the people who are going to follow other religions, they are less connected with our original Hindu and Sanatan principles, and their so if we people can bind them, if we people can teach them properly, see this is what it is, so they will never go. They get temporary lucratives, temporary illusion, and so they are leaving. That is the one cause we have got, and it is very frequently being observed. And we are trying to, when we come to know that X person has now started approaching Y person to change the religion, we immediately go to that person, whether he is Hindu, he or she. We immediately go, we talk to them, we tell them what is exactly the Hindu dharma. And most of the cases we have found, if we have approached in right time, then they don't leave, and they don't change their religion, their dharma. They don't change their religion, and we come to know they were not knowing at all what is puja, what is actual, because their mind brainwash is being done by them, and misinterpretation of our dharma is being done by them. That is why they are changing. Otherwise, if they are taught properly, if they are told properly, then they don't go. So this is one reason we have found, and more or less per day we are getting one case. If I take the whole community of ours, we have a group, then per day we are one, and we take them back to their home. घर वापसी हम करवाते ही करवाते हैं, and they are not well taught, because in the school system also they were not knowing. We are not we are not teaching them, we are not telling them, because we are not practicing. So they see, okay, you are not doing, how can you say I should do? You are not doing this, how can you say I should do it? So we do, then we can tell. So there is a lacuna. See, if there is a pillar in your home, in your house, in your building, and the pillar having hole, O-L-E, hole, chhed hai, so that pillar will not be sold in the market with good price. तो जब हमारे अंदर ही छेद है, if I don't know, then I cannot tell. And that is what is required today for our generation. Our generation means the people in the age group of 40 to 65, 70. They must do it. They must, otherwise their next generation will 100% be not under their control. So this is what is my observation, my learning, my message to everyone in the community. And this is the only method we can stop such kind of migrations. Otherwise we cannot stop. So this much I can tell right now.
Yes, it was a wonderful reply. Actually, I just want to add something to this. there are two things. One is the pre-independence and one is the post-independence. इन ए प्री इंडिपेंडेंसिंग आप देखिए कि जैसे काफी सारे आक्रमण हुए यहाँ पे, ये जो दूसरे धर्म में जाने की बात है, इसमें दो बातें हैं। एक तो आप देखिए क्या स्वच्छता पूर्वक हो रहा है या जबरदस्ती हो रहा है, वो दो बातें भी देखना बड़ा जरूरी है। और पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस टाइम में देखिए, आखिर आप आज की डेट में इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस को देखते हैं, जैसे कि भारत को हम लोग एक सोशलिस्टिक सेकुलर और डेमोक्रेटिक रिपब्लिक कंट्री के नाम पे देखते हैं। आप देखेंगे जो सेक्शन 25 to 28 जो हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस का रूल है, वहां पे फ्रीडम ऑफ रिलीजन्स की बात हो रहा है। तो उसमें हर सिटीजन को अपने रिलीजन्स को चूज करने का अधिकार है। सपोज यहाँ पे आप देखेंगे जो फ्रीडम ऑफ रिलीजन्स की बात हो रहा है, citizens are free to preach, practice and propagate any religions actually. So like in the scriptures what the Lord says कि मनुष्य को जन्म तो दिया लेकिन वो अपना कर्म करने में स्वतंत्र है, फल तो उसको ही भोगना है, कोई दूसरा तो भोगेगा नहीं। इसलिए ये जो आप पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस में आप देखते हैं जो हमारी कंट्री की कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस की है, इसमें सेक्शन 25 to 28 की फ्रीडम ऑफ रिलीजन्स की है। यहाँ पे हर व्यक्ति अपना धर्म चुनने में स्वतंत्र है, लेकिन किसी भी धर्म को आप जबरदस्ती ये नहीं कर सकते। बट हम लोग देखते हैं कि एक ऐसी कंट्री में जहाँ पे धर्म पे नाम पे जैसे कभी व्यभिचार भी होता है, जबरदस्ती कन्वर्सेशन होती है, एक व्यक्ति को जबरदस्ती आप एक धर्म से दूसरे धर्म में ले जाते हैं, वो सब चीजें सह नहीं है। इसको भगवान कृष्ण श्रीमद् भगवद गीता में भी बोलते हैं, स्वधर्मे निधनम श्रेयः परधर्मो भयावह, क्योंकि आप इसको एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर सकते। जैसे आप मतलब देखिए, जैसे वेद व्यास भैया ने अपनी शिखा और तिलक की बात की, आखिर आप देखेंगे जो संस्कृत मंत्र है उसमें शिखायाम वामदेव ऐसा कहा जाता है कि शिखा में वामदेव ऋषि की सिद्धि होती है, उनकी स्थान है वो, और वामदेव शिखायाम वामदेव इति। तो ये जो संस्कार में हम बड़े हुए हैं, उसी संस्कार में से जाके जबरदस्ती या किसी कारण से हम चले भी गए, उन संस्थों को एक्सेप्ट करना इतना ये नहीं। बट एक चीज है, मैं समझता हूँ कि जो रिलीजियस टॉलरेंस है या इंटर रिलीजियस हार्मोनी है, धार्मिक सहिष्णुता, वो जरूरी है, चाहे किसी भी धर्म जाति वर्ण निर्विशेष के लिए। आखिर वो नहीं है तो रिलीजियंस के नाम पे हो सकता है बहुत सारे ऐसे चीज आएगी जिसको मानव सभ्यता सामना नहीं कर पाएगा, धर्म के नाम पे जो भी बातें हो रहा है। तो लेकिन एक बात है कि मार्ग अलग है, पंथ अलग है, मत अलग है, विचार अलग है, लेकिन उन विचारों में, मार्गों में यूनिटी इन डाइवर्सिटी जो है वो हमारा मोटो है। ये वैदिक ऋषियों ने सत्य सनातन काल से इसको कहा है, और इसी बात को भी सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल जी अपनी भाषा में बोलते हैं कि यूनिटी इन डाइवर्सिटी इज इंडिया स्ट्रेंथ, वो आपका बल है। आप यूनिटी किसमें एस्टैब्लिश करेंगे अगर डाइवर्सिटी नहीं होगा तो? आप एकत्व कहाँ से लाएंगे? आप एकत्व में तो एकत्व को साबित नहीं कर सकते, उसको आपको डाइवर्सिटी चाहिए ही चाहिए, नहीं तो आपको कहाँ से मजा आएगा? आप हाइड्रोजन ऑक्सीजन नहीं पाएंगे तो पानी कहाँ से बनाएंगे? इसलिए कलेक्टिव कॉन्शियसनेस में बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स की, जैसे भैया ने उसमें एटम और न्यूक्लियस की बातें की, बट हम एक प्योर कॉन्शियसनेस में ग्रो कर सकते हैं कि हम एक अच्छा सा सुंदर समाज चाहते हैं और वो एस्टैब्लिश होगा। उसके लिए हमें छोटे छोटे एफर्ट्स, जैसे यज्ञ में आहुति जाती है, हमें कलेक्टिव कॉन्शियसनेस में काम करनी होगी। असत्य या अधर्म अन्याय चाहे कितनी भी अपनी काया विस्तार कर ले। मैं आपको एक छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ। जब समुद्र मंथन हुआ, सारे असुर लोग ने बहुत सारे स्वर्ग लोग सब कुछ कैप्चर कर लिए, तो देवता लोग जाके भगवान शिव जी के आगे कंप्लेंट करते हैं कि असुर लोग बहुत ताकतवर हैं, इन्होंने सब कुछ कैप्चर कर लिया, सब खा गए। तो भगवान शिव जी वहां पे देवताओं को एक प्रश्न पूछते हैं कि क्या ये समुद्र मंथन सिर्फ तुम लोगों के बस की बात थी? नहीं थी, क्योंकि वहां पे एक आसुरिक फोर्स की भी जरूरत थी। इसीलिए जो इवोल्यूशन प्रोसेस में होस्टाइल एंड डिवाइन की जो पावर्स है वो काम करता है, लेकिन अल्टीमेट एम जो है वो जाके एक डिवाइन में और एक अल्टीमेट कॉन्शियसनेस में मर्ज होता है। यही ही इवोल्यूशन की या सृष्टि की एक इवोल्यूशन प्रोसेस की देन है, ऐसा ग्रंथों ने, शास्त्रों ने हजारों हजारों सालों से कहा है। हम इसके ऊपर एक अलग से सेशन रखेंगे। सिद्धेश्वर शुक्ला जी, यू माइट बी one of the speakers because you have very interesting ideas on these subjects, and I hope discussions like this, it has its own value. It's not like that 15-20 people attended, what happened. Maybe मैं तो ऐसे विश्वास करता हूँ, कभी मैं कुछ शुरू करता हूँ, कोई नहीं होता है तो मैं खुद से भी बात कर लेता हूँ, let us talk with me, let us see what happens. ऐसा हुआ है मेरे साथ एक दो बार। और अब मैं आपको इमेजिन बता नहीं सकता कि उसमें क्या अच्छे अच्छे रिजल्ट्स मेरे साथ आए. To talk to ourselves, that is the necessity for the time. So we will continue this discussion. The next topic, something on religious harmony and other things. And discussions like this will definitely contribute to the mainstream. अभी मुझे लगता है काफी टाइम हो चुका है, और कुछ बातें हैं या हम लोग इसको.
पंडित जी, मैं एक थोड़ा कमेंट देना चाहूंगा.
जी जी, प्लीज प्लीज प्लीज.
जैसे शुक्ला जी ने एक प्रश्न पूछा कि हमारे सनातन धर्म से कई लोग क्रिश्चियनिटी में या इस्लाम में कन्वर्ट होते हैं, उसका क्या कारण है. अब देखिए, अभी क्या जो हमारा समाज पिछले सैकड़ों वर्षों से क्या हुआ है, बिकॉज ऑफ द फॉरेन इन्वेजन बाय इस्लाम और एन क्रिश्चियनिटी,
Yes.
लोगों में दे हैव बिकम मोर सेल्फिश, डिसऑनेस्ट और क्विक ग्रेटिफिकेशन की उनमें भावना आ गई है. और स्पेशली जो क्या है, हमारा जो सनातन धर्म है, इट रिक्वायर्स कांस्टेंट प्रैक्टिस. और क्या ये जो सनातन धर्म को पालन करना इतना आसान नहीं है. इट रिक्वायर्स लॉट ऑफ हार्ड वर्क. और बाकी जो अब्राहमिक रिलीजन है, उसमें क्या, दे गॉट जस्ट फ्यू डिक्टेट्स, और ज्यादा उनका जो जो क्या बोलना है, जो फॉलो करने के लिए उनमें वो गाइडलाइंस नहीं है, कुछ लिमिटेड
जी.
है. तो टू फॉलो लिमिटेड गाइडलाइंस इज वेरी इजी. और हमारा सनातन धर्म में क्या है, आप ये मत करो या वो करो या वो करो, बहुत सारा. इट रिक्वायर्स लॉट ऑफ हार्ड वर्क. उससे लोग आके आप मन चुराने लगे हैं. और जो आज के जमाने समय में उनको डराया जाता है, धमकाया जाता है, प्लस मॉनिटरी बेनिफिट्स, उसके कारण क्या आदमी बहुत जल्दी अपना धर्म छोड़ के दूसरे रिलीजन का अडॉप्ट कर लेता है.
जी.
तो सनातन धर्म को फॉलो करने के लिए बहुत परिश्रम करना पड़ता है, जो आज के समय में लोगों को इतना पसंद नहीं आता है या इतना उसके ऊपर परिश्रम नहीं कर सकते. तो दीज आर द, मेरे हिसाब से मुझे ऐसा लगता है, दीज आर द reasons why people shift from one Sanatan Dharma to these religions.
Yeah. बहुत ही सिग्निफिकेंट पॉइंट है सर.
एक चीज और मैं बोलना चाहूंगा आपको.
जरा सा
हेलो.
एक पॉइंट ऐड करना चाहूंगा, अगर अनुमति.
जस्ट एक सेकेंड, प्रोफेसर अश्विनी कुमार शुक्ला जी, नागेश भंडारी जी
और
want to say something. Yes.
हाँ, हमारा जो सेंटर फॉर इंडिक स्टडीज ने बहुत अच्छा मतलब एक वो बनाया है, क्या, डिफरेंशिएशन बिटवीन सनातन धर्म एंड अब्राहमिक रिलीजन, या रिलीजन एंड धर्म के बीच में. एक तो उसके ऊपर हम डिस्कशन कर सकते हैं. आप जब भी इच्छा हो तो बताइएगा.
जी.
उसके ऊपर विल कीप ए लॉन्ग डिस्कशन ऑन दिस टॉपिक.
Yes, yes, definitely sir. We will continue this. This is, I hope, ये आज की जो सत्र है, ये एक यज्ञ वेदी की जो प्रस्तुति है, इसके आगे हम लोग इसको बढ़ाएंगे. और आपकी मार्गदर्शना, और वेद व्यास द्विवेदी भैया भी हैं, मैं उनको भैया ही बुलाता हूँ क्योंकि
नहीं, बुलाई बिल्कुल अच्छी बात है.
क्योंकि उनके पिताजी के साथ हमारा काफी अच्छा संबंध रहा है.
हम्म.
और आप लोगों के मार्गदर्शना में हम लोग इसमें जरूर कार्य करेंगे. प्रोफेसर अश्विनी शुक्ला जी हैं, सिद्धेश्वर शुक्ला जी भी हैं, अशोक कुमार जी, सब कुछ, केशव चंद्र दास जी, अंतामाराम जी, हम जो मिलजुल के काम करेंगे इसके ऊपर. और श्री अरविंदो सोसाइटी और आपके सेंटर्स के साथ भी हम लोग आगे की, आज मैं हमारे चेयरमैन से डिस्कशन कर रहा था, हाउ वी कैन कोलैबोरेट इन ए मोर सिस्टमेटिक सम रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट्स एंड अदर थिंग्स. हम लोग डेफिनेटली इसके ऊपर काम करेंगे. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर वैल्यूबल इनपुट्स. यस, अश्विनी कुमार शुक्ला सर, यू वांट टू से समथिंग.
हाँ, बस एक बात इसमें और जोड़नी थी मुझे, कि
जी.
जो हमारी शिक्षा व्यवस्था है, और जो विशेषता जो प्राथमिक शिक्षा व्यवस्था है, वहाँ आप देखिए तो लोग मिशनरी स्कूल की तरफ या कॉन्वेंट के स्कूल की तरफ भाग रहे हैं, और वहाँ से जो हमारे बच्चे शिक्षित हो रहे हैं, उनके अंदर सनातन के प्रति कोई आस्था पैदा ही नहीं की जाती. तो वहां से ये चीजें पिछले 40-50 सालों से मैं ऑब्जर्व कर रहा हूँ कि ये चीजें वहां से बिगड़नी शुरू हुई हैं. तो अगर अब उन चीजों को सही कर ले तो फिर हमारी जो सनातन व्यवस्था है वो अपनी पटरी पर आ सकती है. बस इतना ही मुझे कहना था.
ये बहुत ही अच्छा सुझाव है, लेकिन जैसे ये आपको पता है, भारत जैसे एक विशाल देश में यहाँ की जो शिक्षा व्यवस्था है बहुत सारे बोर्ड्स के थ्रू ग्रो करता है. जो सिलेबस है, जो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन मैकेनिज्म है, जैसे हम लोग अपने छोटे से प्रयास में, जैसे श्री अरविंदो सोसाइटी के अपने औरो स्कूल्स हैं, उस स्कूल्स में इंटीग्रल एजुकेशन की जो मेथड्स है, सनातन धर्म को पढ़ाया जाता है. ये बहुत ही अच्छा सुझाव है. द गवर्नमेंट हैज टू टेक अ डिसीजन इन इम्प्लीमेंटिंग द सिलेबस एंड अदर थिंग्स. और काफी सुधार हुआ है इन दिनों में, आप देखेंगे सरकार की तरफ से जो भी बातें कहा गया है. लेकिन एक मुद्दा यह भी है कि आप स्कूलों में सनातन धर्म पढ़ाने शुरू हो जाएंगे तो बाकी रिलीजियंस ऑल्सो जस्ट लाइक जब वंदे मातरम गाने की बात हुई तो उन्होंने बोला कि हम आप हमारे धर्म का भी कुछ बातें वहां गाइए। तो उस तरीके से चीजें हैं। वी हैव मेनी चैलेंजेस बट, और इसमें मुझे लगता है सरकार की तरफ से कि बहुत बड़ा रोल प्ले हो सकता है, बिकॉज वी आर इंडिविजुअल एंड स्मॉल इंस्टीट्यूशंस। और अब देखते हैं आगे कैसे भगवान की क्या इच्छा, समाज कहाँ पर जाता है। तो बहुत ही अच्छा सुझाव है, लेकिन देखते हैं कार्यकारी कैसे हो सकता है। ये बहुत
मैं
ही
एक
अच्छा।
कमेंट देना चाहूंगा।
जी प्लीज। हाँ
अभी सरकार ने जो न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी बनाई है 2020 की,
जी
उसके अंदर उन्होंने बहुत सारे मतलब बदलाव लाए हैं। वो अब धीरे
जी
धीरे सनातन धर्म की बहुत सारी चीजें जो है इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम के थ्रू डाल रहे हैं।
जी जी
और उन्होंने हायर एजुकेशन सिस्टम में भी तो डाल ही दिया है, लेकिन अब स्कूल में भी नीचे नीचे स्तर से लेकर ऊपर पूरे
जी
ऊपर स्तर तक बदलाव ला रहे हैं। उसमें थोड़ा ये कि सरकार ने थोड़ा लंबा समय ले लिया है। 10 साल
जी
बहुत बड़ा समय है, जिसमें उन्होंने अब जाके काम करना प्रारंभ किया है। अदरवाइज कांग्रेस गवर्नमेंट समय क्या होता था कि उनको कुछ बदलना होता एक दिन के अंदर बदल देते थे, और ये 10 साल में नहीं बदल पाए। वो बहुत मेरे को जरा थोड़ा दुख हुआ इस वस्तु का।
जी
लेकिन अब वो प्रयत्न कर रहे हैं और आ रहा है, धीरे धीरे बदलाव आ रहा है ऐसा।
जी
तो लेकिन हम थोड़ा बहुत तेजी से काम करेंगे तो ये जो शुक्ला जी बोल रहे थे,
जी
तो उस कार्य को हम तेजी से कर पाएंगे।
जी जी डेफिनेटली सर, बहुत अच्छा सुझाव है, हम इसको पर काम करेंगे। और जैसे हमारा औरो स्कूल्स का नेटवर्क है, धीरे धीरे ये एक्सपांड कर रहे हैं, काफी सारे स्कूल्स डिफरेंट स्टेट्स में भी हम लोग ओपन कर रहे हैं। तो
हाँ
उसमें
जी,
जी, और आपके यूनिवर्सिटी के साथ भी मिलके हम लोग कुछ काम कर सकते हैं आपके गाइडेंस सपोर्ट्स के साथ। और हम,
अवश्य।
जी जी, हम लोग इसको जारी करें रखेंगे। और बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, आभार व्यक्त करते हैं, आपने अपने बहुमूल्य समय दिए और आपके विचार, और हमारे चेयरमैन मैं उनको सूचित करूंगा जो भी आज की फाइंडिंग्स रही। और श्री अरविंदो सोसाइटी की तरफ से हमारे आदरणीय अग्रज प्रोफेसर वेद व्यास द्विवेदी जी को हमारा सादर नमस्ते। आप सबकी और सारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स जितने भी रहे हैं आज के प्रोग्राम में, हम लोग दोबारा मिलेंगे और इसी तरीके से अपने सत्र को जारी रखेंगे, ताकि कुछ महान यज्ञ में हम लोग भी थोड़ा सा कुछ कंट्रीब्यूट कर पाए। जैसे एक छोटा सा गिलहरी वो राम सेतु में अपना भी कुछ कार्य कर रहा था करके। तो इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ हम लोग दोबारा मिलेंगे। नमस्ते। नमस्ते।
नमस्कार जी,
जय
धन्यवाद।
मां
नमस्ते
महाराज।
नमस्ते देशो जी, आपने बहुत अच्छा ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग सेशन दिया। और मुझे लगता है कि आज की सबसे बड़ी सिद्धि है कि आपका अन्वेषण हुआ। हमारा सौभाग्य है कि आपसे हमारा परिचय हुआ। और देश को सच्चे अर्थों में अरविंद जी और पटेल जी के जो सिद्धांत हैं उस पर ले चलने के लिए आप जैसे ही विचारक और महान विचारक की आवश्यकता है। तभी, क्योंकि स्फुरण होगा तभी वृक्ष होगा, और वृक्ष से फिर फल प्राप्त होंगे, और उन फलों से हमारी आने वाली पीढ़ी जो है वो स्वस्थ और दीर्घायु बनेगी।
जी
धन्यवाद। इंडस
सर
विश्वविद्यालय आप सभी का हृदय से धन्यवाद और पुनः पुनः स्वागत करता है। आप कभी जब भी इधर पधारें या हमें जस्ट सूचना दे दें, हम आपको यहाँ हम रिसीव करेंगे, बुलाएंगे और हम पुनः मिलेंगे, जिससे कि हम पूरे भारत को, कम से कम पूरे भारत को एक करने का जो प्रण है, जो एक इसकी योजना है, उसमें कुछ सहयोग कर सकें। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ हमारे प्रेसिडेंट डॉक्टर नागेश भंडारी जी ने इतना समय दिया, बहुत ही व्यस्त रहते हैं, काफ़ी नोबल हार्टेड पर्सन है, और इतनी बड़ी यूनिवर्सिटी जहां 10,000 विद्यार्थी पढ़ते हैं, 500 से ज़्यादा स्टाफ काम करते हैं, उनका संचालन करना आसान कार्य नहीं है, और वो
जी
भी भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा और भारतीय सिस्टम के आधार पे। तो ये बहुत बड़ा कार्य है, जिसको वो यज्ञ प्रारंभ नहीं, उन्होंने तो पिछले 25 वर्षों से प्रैक्टिस में रखा है। तो इतना समय देने के लिए उनको हृदय से बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और अरविंदो सेंटर और त्रिपाठी जी और नारंग सर, अश्विनी कुमार जी और जितने और लोग हैं, चारू जी इत्यादि, सभी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
हम भी
धन्यवाद आप।
आपका स्वागत करते हैं एस्टीम्ड नागेश
बस
भंडारी सर, आप भी कृपया पौंडीचेरी एक बार पधारे हम, ताकि हम लोग।
अवश्य आएंगे जरूर।
जी जी, आपका स्वागत है, आप सब जितने भी उपस्थित हैं आए। पौंडीचेरी एक तपोभूमि है, और यहाँ पे महर्षि अरविंद, यहाँ पे स्वामी विवेकानंद, चैतन्य महाप्रभु सब लोग आए हैं। और यहाँ पे सिद्धों की नगरी है, यहाँ पे बहुत सारे सिद्धर्स की जो ऋषि अगस्त्य की परंपरा रही, यहाँ पे काफी फेमस है। यहाँ पे हम आपका स्वागत करते हैं और हम इसको कंटिन्यू रखेंगे, जारी रखेंगे इसको। जी जी, नमस्ते।
नमस्ते।